When someone dies, open the window so the soul can fly away. Life is hard on the farm, but we're raising pigs. My brother smiled from across the table. His arm was in a cast. It was smashed by a Berkshire against the stall in the spring, but we're raising pigs. When
hello, boys and
dies,
girls.
open the window.
Boy, those little goats were really cute, weren't they? Why, of course they were. Running around the barn, having all kinds of fun. You know, a baby goat is called a kid. That's correct. Now, the barn there where you saw the little goats running around, there had been reports that people had seen me, Mr. Stitches, roaming around that barn. And guess what? Now they can't find the little baby goats. You know, goat meat has become a delicacy. Sure it has. Goat meat is called Siobhan. Can you say that word? Siobhan. Kind of sounds like some guy you might meet out at a disco, doesn't it? Well, that's the end of tonight's bedtime story, boys and girls.
We're raising pigs. I have to go from this song. It makes no sense. It's not that long, but we're raising pigs. Yes, we're raising pigs.
Yippee-yi-yay, boys and girls. How do, Podna? For tonight's bedtime story, Weezer headed out west. There's all kinds of really neat things out west. Did you know that? Why, of course there is. There's the Grand Canyon, the Painted Desert. Wow, isn't that neat? And all kinds of cactus. Oh, and did I fail to mention scorpions? Scorpions are classified as arthropods, which are actually relatives to spiders and ticks. You know, things like that. There are over 1,300 species of scorpions, and 90 of those species are right here in the United States. Now you're probably thinking, Mr. Stitches, do you have any scorpions? Why, of course I don't. I turned all mine loose in your room. Scorpions bite when you least expect it. They'll probably get you while you're sleeping. Scorpions have a little stinger on the end of their tail, and the stinger contains a venom. The venom is a neurotoxin. Can you say that? It's a real big word. Neurotoxin. That means it attacks the central nervous system, basically sending you into convulsions. Good night, buckaroos.
You know, I mean, people are kind of scared of Charles, right? I mean, you know, he's kind of a scary looking dude, and his, you know, he has these ultra violent films, and he's, you know, he wears that kind of Alice Cooper makeup in a lot of things, and And so when you actually meet the guy, and it turns out he's, you know, he's just gentle as a lamb as far as I can tell.
I guess her probably initial opinion of Charles, and as I think most people are when they see his show, is that he's a real off the top strange guy. You know, he's kind of a wild man, and in reality, Charles is probably one of the most normal, decent, nice people I've ever met.
You know, it's funny because this, you know, I've talked to people before, you know, like, let's say I'm waiting to get a muffler put on my car, or maybe some tires, or, you know, something like that, and there's somebody sitting there, an old lady, a younger guy, whatever, you know, just start talking with them, you know, and I mention the fact about Charles Collin, and they say, Charles Collin? Why, he's, you know, he's this or that. I said, you don't know Charles Collin.
And that's the misconception. I think people really think he is crazy or whatever. But he's actually, if you know him, he's actually one of the most sane people in the world. And that's the truth. I've had to tell people that. You know, people are like, I mean, people are frightened of him, you know, or just, I can't believe you hang out at his house or whatever. It's just like, you know, he makes more sense to me than 90% of this town, you know.
My initial impressions, that he was half rodeo cowboy, half mad poet. And now I realize he's a gentleman, a great gentleman, a lo loco, as we might say, in a crazy way. But he's a true genteel man.
I suspect there are bound to be some people out there who still say, you know, who's this weird guy who drinks beer, you know, in front of the camera. I think if they got to know him, they would realize that, you know, in all kinds of ways, he's really a very, very normal guy. I guess as normal as, you know, someone who tap dances and cross dresses can get. But
you know, that you meet him and you think, whoa, Nelly, you know, this guy's weird. And it turns out, well, he's no weirder than the rest of us are. He's just really honest about it.